A human body operating at peak mechanical efficiency requires immense, instantaneous energy output. The sports supplement industry promises that output in a bottle, flooding the market with unregulated products that claim to instantly upgrade performance. Cutting through that noise requires an ergogenic stack, a performance-enhancing protocol built strictly from biological first principles. The non-negotiable bedrock of this protocol is lifestyle. No chemical compound can outcompete in fundamental sleep and nutrition. This diagram models our physiological baseline. The wide base represents the foundation of sleep and nutrition. Once secured, we deploy 3 supplements targeting distinct biological vectors: cellular energy, systemic health, and acute neurological output. Treating all supplements as identical overlooks their distinct biological scales. Efficiency depends on matching each compound to its specific physiological role. We start at the second tier of the pyramid, looking at localized muscle tissue biology. Here we find creatine monohydrate, the most rigorously researched and scientifically validated sports supplement in existence. This simplified cross-section shows a muscle fiber at work. Creatine acts as an intracellular energy reservoir. When you engage in heavy, explosive exercise, like sprinting or weightlifting, these local energy cells deplete rapidly. Saturating the tissue with a deeper reserve of this compound allows the muscle to sustain high-exertion contractions longer, leading to increased strength, power output, and muscle growth. Maintaining this energy reservoir also supports muscular recovery and may provide cognitive support for brain function. Beginners often notice a sudden spike in weight on the scale during the first few weeks of use. This weight gain occurs as creatine pulls water inside the cell boundary. This intramuscular water retention supports the hydration and volume of the tissue itself. Creatine provides a structural upgrade to the muscle's natural energy capacity without the neurological jolt of a stimulant. Because it relies on stocking a localized reservoir, creatine does nothing upon immediate ingestion. The muscle cells must achieve cellular saturation before any mechanical benefits appear. There are 2 distinct mathematical protocols to reach that saturated state. This graph tracks saturation levels. The first option is the normal method. By taking 3 to 5 grams daily, a steady accumulation occurs, reaching total cellular saturation in about 3 to 4 weeks. The loading phase is for athletes requiring faster physiological adaptation. Taking 20 grams daily pushes saturation to 100% in just 5 to 7 days. Because the tissue has a maximum capacity, you must drop back to the maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams daily once the loading phase is complete. Since we are filling a chronic reservoir, the exact time of day you ingest it is less important than daily consistency. Combining the dose with carbohydrates and protein post-workout is a common optimization strategy, though it remains optional. When managing intracellular energy, chronic consistency overrides acute timing. We now move from localized tissue to the third tier of the pyramid, the systemic baseline. This tier involves omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential healthy fats, primarily sourced from fish or algae oils. The specific active compounds that drive biological change within these oils are EPA and DHA. Maintaining these compounds supports cardiovascular function, brain health, and joint integrity. As an ergogenic aid, they reduce systemic inflammation, which improves overall athletic recovery between training sessions. Look closely at this supplement facts panel. Total fish oil is a vague metric. You must calculate the actual yield of EPA and DHA combined to ensure the dosage is sufficient to drive results. A second execution error is taking this compound on an empty stomach. Because omega-3s are fat-soluble, they require the presence of dietary lipids to properly assimilate into the body. The protocol requires 1 to 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily, taken alongside a meal containing dietary fat. Systemic modulators rely on these digestive prerequisites to reach the concentrations necessary for biological change. At the peak of the pyramid, we move from chronic health to immediate forced neurological stimulation. Pre-workout supplements are acute output stimulators, tools designed to spike energy, focus, and endurance for a narrow window of time. These formulas are built on an ingredient matrix starting with the primary neurological driver, caffeine. Caffeine blocks fatigue receptors in the brain to increase cognitive focus and raw energy levels. The second component is the vascular driver, citrulline malate. Citrulline malate signals the blood vessels to expand, increasing localized blood flow and generating muscular pumps. Finally, we have the endurance driver, beta-alanine. Beta-alanine buffers acid buildup to delay muscular failure, though it often causes a harmless tingling sensation across the skin. Overdosing caffeine in these formulas leads to significant disruptions in sleep quality and heart rhythm. To be effective, the compound must be ingested 20 to 40 minutes before training and never late at night. Acute stimulators are volatile tools that require precision in dosage and timing to avoid biological blowback. Optimization often fails when athletes apply the timing of an acute stimulant to a chronic cellular compound by taking everything right before a workout. This table categorizes our stack by temporal modality, matching each compound to its biologically optimal window. To maintain cellular saturation, creatine is removed from the workout window and locked into a daily routine at any consistent time. To ensure lipid assimilation, omega-3 is paired with your digestive schedule and taken with meals containing fat. The pre-workout formula is kept isolated as an acute trigger, consumed 30 minutes before physical demand. Separating these compounds by their required time horizons maximizes strength, recovery, and peak performance simultaneously. Athletic optimization begins with the foundation of sleep and diet, followed by the application of specific compounds at the precise windows required by human physiology.